I think that is such an important principle today. I don't know if there's anybody alive who doesn't feel like they've lost their innocence. Intentionally, accidentally, their fault, not their fault, but what do you do? You can live with it. Okay, so I'm damaged. Make the best of it. Or you can say, oh no, I'm going to look a little deeper to where I cannot be damaged. The innocence that can't be lost. And then use that to light my fire, to light my menorah. And of course, that's going to last 8 days. It'll last 8 years. It'll last as long as you need because it's real. So the stuff, the part of us, the layers that can be damaged, the innocence that can be lost from external influences, that's only skin deep. Go a little deeper and you realize you haven't been damaged at all. We need that. Better than all the years of therapy.
Well, so I'll ask on that. You mentioned therapy. As we discussed briefly before we began, I'm a Musser guy. It's very about like going with a Jewish idea and figuring out a strategy to achieve that. You want to be less angry. You have different practices to become less angry. You know, hearing what you just described, which is so powerful, how does one go about doing that? How do you reach your innocence or come back to your innocence or find that, you know, that perfect crude of oil?
So it's all a matter of getting back to basics. You don't want to be angry. You don't want to lose your temper. Well, what do? Well, you fight with your temper. You win, you lose. It's endless and painful and distracting. The worst of it is, it's not even worth the effort. Okay, fine. So now you don't get angry. So now the world is better. Get to the core of the issue. Why do we get angry? What are we angry about? There's your problem. There were these parents who were asking, is it okay to spank a child? This was a few years ago. Now nobody asks that.
You're right.
But there was a time when people were saying, is it okay on occasion to spank your child? I said, absolutely. Just one condition. Right now, take out a piece of paper and a pen and write down what things you're going to spank your child for. And hang that on your refrigerator. When you get angry at your child, check the list. If it's not on the list, you can't spank him. These were mothers. They sat down with a piece of paper and they just sat there and thought and thought and thought. Can't think of anything. When you're calm, you're like, what am I going to spank him for that? Nah.
Right.
Oh, for this? Nah. So all of a sudden, you have no reason. So you're not fighting with yourself. You're not biting your tongue. You're not trying to control your temper. You have no reason to get angry. And that's the truth. I don't know how anger became so justified.
Sure.
But nobody would say, yeah, I stole your watch. You got me jealous. Nobody would ever say that. But yeah, I hit him. You got me angry.
Yeah.
And that sounds justified?
Right.
How? Why?
Sure.
So it's not control your temper. It's like, what in the world are you getting angry about? 99% of it just disappears.
Right. And you mentioned twice now this idea of getting back to fundamentals. What are the fundamentals?
Okay, here's the ultimate pre-Mashiach situation here. For 5,000 years, we have labored under the message that you are needy, you are weak, you're vulnerable, you need protection, you need help from above, you need God on your side. If you behave yourself and you're really good and you're really nice, maybe God will be on your side and you can survive this miserable life. I don't know how we survived. The whole idea is depressing.
Right. Or like a promise of an afterworld or something, right?
Right. You have to depend on that. You know. We got to change our attitude. I was speaking at a church in Puerto Rico a year ago.
Okay.
People steeped in Christianity, where the message is, you're born in sin, you need to be saved. I thought, listen, they asked me to come speak. They're gonna have to hear what I have to say.
Sure.
I said, get off your knees. Stop using God for your benefit. It's time to serve God. Don't tell God what you need. Ask God what he needs and do it, because you were born to partner with him in making the world godly. So stop using God, start serving God. The reaction was, oh yeah, sure. It's so true and it's so sensible. You can't argue with it.
Right.
It makes for a much happier existence. I'm not in trouble. I'm not suffering. I have some problems. That's not what it's about. I can serve the Creator and partner with him. Wow. What a relief. And what a compliment. It's just perfect. That is the message for our generation. Everything else will fall away. You won't need therapy because it's not about you. That itself is a great relief. So this is a message that everyone in the world needs to hear. The most religious, who are hoping that God will be on their side and let them into heaven when they die, which is such a depressing way to live.
Right.
I got to make it through this life to get to another one. It's so depressing. And it's not true. We didn't come to earth in order to go back to heaven. That's just, what kind of plan is that?
Right.
You come from heaven, you come down to earth, you live 80, 90 years, and then you go back to heaven. The only difference is, if you blow it, you don't go back to heaven. Well, thank you very much. What is the purpose of this?
Okay. So why are we here?
We're here because God created a world that is the lowest of all possible worlds, ours. But he created it for us to repair, so that it becomes godlier than heaven, not back to heaven. The ultimate is life on earth becomes eternal. We stop dying, because it's a terrible idea. This dying has got to stop.
Sure.
It's got to be temporary. It only came because we ate from the tree of knowledge. How long can you suffer from one fruit?
Right.
So it is temporary. The ultimate future is life on earth in its most perfect godly state, which is greater than heaven. The angels can't even relate to this. That's exciting. If you enjoyed this conversation or this topic, and you're looking for more information, or you want to hear it again from another angle, there's a way to do that. And that is in this book. It's all there. Order it from Amazon. You can read it, reread it, and share it. These ideas, these messages, this approach to life, this approach to Torah, to meaning, and to morals is vital for the world today. And we need to get this message out to the entire world. It is universal, it's essential, it's indispensable. To support this effort, if you want to be a partner in this crime, check out the link and make a donation. It really helps a lot. And thank you in advance.